To a Chandler's Channel. I'm Tracy with your intuitive weekly reading for April 7th through April 13th, 2014. And I like the sound of those numbers. 7 and 13, two of my fave numbers. 7 is the sacred 7 and 13 is the number of transformation for me. So let's see what that has to do with this upcoming week. If you're new, usually in the format, we touch back on the previous week briefly to see what parallels there were, and then I go get my spirit guide Whitehawk, whom I consciously channel for the upcoming week's insight, tips, healings, teachings, all that lovely stuff. So last week, Whitehawk had said that it would be a week of abundance, a auspicious week, and that we would move fluidly through April very much like that. And when I've listened to other people's forecasts as well, because I'm not immune to this. I'm not perfect. Just like a psychologist or a psychiatrist can't figure their whole life out as well. They do need help from their peers. And so, I go and I listen to a couple of people that I like on YouTube as well. And it's not the same every week. Sometimes it's one person and then the next week it's another person. And so I encourage you to do that. And oftentimes you'll see that there are parallels in the readings. And not only that, you will see that, whatever reading you have chosen is very specific for you and does have many parallels for you. Perhaps there's a tip or a teaching or something in it that you need to hear, a tidbit in it that you need to hear to get you through the week or to help teach you. So a lot of the readings for April are very uplifting, actually. I think I listened to about two readings in April, yeah. And, I listened to one of my own personal one, which was a Gemini one. And so it was quite uplifting as well. So I encourage you to do that, to have a bit of fun and see how the energy can be very similar at times. You're just hearing the same message, and that is the message that is meant to get to you. Because when working with spirit, it's almost like spirit almost knows who's coming to the party, right? Before they arrive. So the message can be delivered to that party of people who arrive. And that's what I refer to as the collective consciousness at that time who arrives. In our case with Whitehawk, it's oftentimes a campfire, right? So it's like, who's going to arrive to the campfire this week? Well, then the message will more than likely be for them, because he knows already who's coming. So that's my take on that. Okay, so Whitehawk had said abundance and auspiciousness. We had a really great story here in Ottawa this past week about a couple who won $43 million on the Lotto Max. It was her first lottery ticket she kind of ever bought. She wasn't a regular buyer, but they had some challenges in their life in the last couple of years where he was struggling with cancer. I do believe he is in remission now, but it's nice. And they have 2 small children too as well, or 2 or 3. Yeah, don't quote me on that. But anyways, the whole meaning is that abundance did come to them, for the Lord does work in mysterious ways, does he not? And then when you think of auspiciousness in my own life, auspicious, yeah. The abundance didn't come money-wise. The abundance came in growing my social media communities, in speaking with people about spirit. That's where the abundance came, in teaching and engaging and finding new people that are very much like-minded, like me, and like I said, teaching. So that's where the abundance comes. So don't always look to the money, right? Because it's not always about money. Now I'm doing this on a Thursday, so we still have a few days to go. That could happen, and if it does, I'll hope to keep you in the know in my next weekly reading. So that is that. If you haven't joined my Facebook community, please do like my page. Get me to 100 likes, and the 0 to 100 people who like my page are in a draw to win a 30-minute, I had originally said 15, but a 30-minute reading with me and Whitehawk. And 30 minutes can be life-changing, guys, because that's like 3 to 6 questions, depending upon the depth of the answer that we need to go. So, like my page, share my page, and I love you for it. Thank you kindly. So without further ado, let's go get Whitehawk and see what he has to say for the upcoming week. Indeed. Pay, play. He says, and it's like I'm getting a visual of people being out at a ball game, and then I'm hearing the song, Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And he says, indeed, many of you thought the auspiciousness would come through in, well, such things as this. Going to a baseball game. Being able to go out and enjoy yourself. Partying, he says, as this one says. But when we speak of auspiciousness, he says, we speak of vibrational levels. We speak of love. We speak of groundedness. We speak of people around us. We speak of moving forward on our life's path, on our motivational speaking, he says. That is what auspicious is, to uplift, to motivate. It is not for you to partay, because to partay would not be very uplifting, it would be very downlifting. He says, indeed, it would be very uplifting for the moment that you're at the partay, but then once you leave the partay, you probably will fall many levels, he says, into depression and sadness because of the alcohol consumption and the energy vibration of the people that you find yourself in company with. That is, children, not to say, because it's like we feel this backlash. What do you mean? That is not to say, children, that you cannot enjoy the company of people around you and that there are not people who are good. It is simply to say, to be in a large group of people for a very long period of time, it can be very draining. And that is why I say it is not uplifting for a very long period of time. Motivation and upliftedness comes through many forms and fashions. But to be in a large group for a very long period of time, with music banging at your head and alcohol going into your body, he says, can drop you as fast as a pancake is flattened in a pan. I don't know, I'm just the messenger here. He says, this is true, my children. Partying will get you nowhere, my children. I assure you, the only thing it will get you is bags and wrinkles and gray hair. Indeed. And so it's like we're sitting here, we're all kind of quiet now and dumbfounded and dumbfaced because we're like, holy crap, what the hell just happened there? You know, he just kind of shook his finger at us or something. And he's like, I'm not shaking my finger at you as much as I am saying, moderate, boundaries, children. There are things we can do, indeed, to partay and enjoy the company in which we are keeping, but there are limits. And from what I have been gathering and seeing lately is that those limits are being crossed, that those limits are being overextended, that we are using poor judgment and poor guidance in choosing, indeed, as well, the people and the groups we are allowing ourselves to engage in. And that is what I am seeing. And so you still wonder what you have come here for then for the week, thinking, well, what has that got to do with my week? Perhaps nothing. It has nothing to do with your week. Perhaps it is just a good tip and a piece of guidance for you in moderating your energy in your life For if you remember, we have spoken much on moderating one's energy throughout the spring season. And from what I can see, everybody has taken out of the gate very quickly. And you will be pooped to the party very quickly. So that is what it has to do with your week ahead. To moderate, children. It is okay to recede into peacefulness, to tranquilness, into quietness for a while, so that we may recharge our batteries, so that we may come out stronger and more efficient and faster than we have ever been. And that is what I am here to teach you, my children, more than anything. For indeed, in this world there is an energy crisis. Look around you. And when I speak of energy, I do not necessarily mean the energy that we put in the gas tanks in our car, as much as I mean the energy we put in the gas tanks of our body. There is an energy crisis, he says. And it will continue until we learn to moderate our energy and put ourselves around people and places and things that are of a higher vibration, that are fluid with our body's vibration, that heal our body, that keep our body clean and running efficiently. For to do anything else is to be suicide. For your body cannot operate at that level, children. You must learn to rest. It is more than nutritional eating, children. You must learn to rest. And that is not to say to sit in front of a television with junk food and watch television and eat junk food all day, my children. That is not rest. Respite comes in many forms. It comes in a walk in nature. It comes in drinking a lot of water. It comes in being in water, next to water, to just sitting and soaking up the vibrational level of the land in which you sit on. That is where the rest and the respite come. And sometimes, children, it even comes in just backing off from people and just being in the tranquilness and the peacefulness of you, yourself, and I. Sometimes, children, that is what it means. And so I deliver unto you a very powerful teaching, a very powerful healing. But whether you choose to listen, yes, indeed, it is your own free will. God bless, children. It is an easy teaching, but a powerful teaching. God bless on your journey this week as you moderate your energy once again. God bless. And it's like we were all sitting in water while he was teaching us this. We were in a lake, and so he's getting up and out of the lake. Sorry, as we all kind of sit there just enjoying, actually, sitting in the lake, doing nothing. Just sitting in the lake. So he gets up, grabs a towel, puts it around his waist, and kind of walks off down the beach. And it's not even a beach this time. It's more like we're in a forest. And yeah, you could say a tropical forest because it doesn't feel... Well, no, it's a forest, but it's a beach, but it's not the big wide open ocean sandy beach. It's more like a lake surrounded by conifers, conifer trees in a forest, more than deciduous. And we're just sitting in the lake hanging out. And it's kind of cool. Yeah. Thanks, Whitehawk. No, thank you, Tracy, for the opportunity to speak to the children of the world. God bless. Well, there you go. I don't know if I call that an auspicious reading, but I do call that a teaching, and a very powerful teaching and healing so that we moderate the bodies in which our souls inhabit, right? Important stuff, moderating the energy. I've learned that a lot in the last 15 years, really. Longer? 15 years, I'd say. So I hope you take those suggestions and work with them, and don't take our word for it. Try it, and it might take you a while to come off the roller coaster of life. Like you're on it and you're like, I can't get off this ride. Oh my gosh, But jump, make that jump, and just go. And it may take you a few days. It really does. It can take you days and days and days to come down. And but then when you finally do, you're able to rest, and you get that most amazing rest, and you wake up and you feel like a brand new person. So do it. Like I said, don't take my word for it, but do try it. Try new things. All right, so this was our Intuitive Weekly reading. So join us for our Intuitive Weekly vlog on Thursdays. Get those Facebook likes in there. Thanks for being my subscribers, my viewers. Much gratitude. Love you all. We shall see you soon. God bless. I'm Tracy.